This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
843, call Eric right now if you need it. And custom home construction and major home remodeling, Dade and Broward County, call EJD Construction. Wow, Perk. Like, I've been doing this for 34 years. This might be the most depressing post-game part I've ever been associated with, because everything has kind of fallen apart, dude. Everything. Now, a quarterback that has to really consider retiring now? Really? Let's be honest. You just gave a head coach a contract that he didn't earn. If you can't find a quarterback, the last 2 years of Tyreek aren't going to be very productive for all that money. You have a whole bunch of old guys on this team this year. This is going to look bad for Greer, McKenzie, and Allen now. This is like in one moment, like this one injury just kind of leads to all kinds of negative things. It's like a domino effect. It's kind of really bad, dude.
Yeah, well, you know what, Big O, it is, but you have to kind of take this sandwich one bite at a time, right? Tua is the big bite. Teron Armstead, Rob Jones, Raheem Mostert. There's a lot to digest here. Your 30-somethings, it started with Shaq Barrett, then to OBJ, then to Teron, Raheem Mostert. That plan is kind of crumbling on you. But you can't be so fatalistic because it's going to drive you crazy. So I do agree with Mike McDaniel. Although you do wonder, is it safe for Tua to continue his career? Is it imminent that he's going to the IR at the very minimum? You have to kind of take this one step at a time and kind of compartmentalize all these problems, or else it's going to be this big avalanche of stuff with Seattle coming at you. So it's not easy. I understand that, but you've got to do the Tua thing and then the Armstead thing and the Rob Jones thing, and then see what you can do. See about maybe bringing in another quarterback. Mike White was here. Ryan Tannehill is out there. I don't know, but you've got to take this one step at a time and not look at the whole picture, or else it's going to drive you crazy, Big O.
I'm a fucking Dolphins fan. What do you mean drive me? I'm already there, bro.
I know. I'm trying to bring you back. I'm trying to bring you back.
No, that's it. Listen, nobody's a bigger Tua believer than I am.
Yeah.
Okay. He proved he ran into the guy. Yep. It wasn't this major hit, dude.
Yep. You've
been unconcussed for a year and a half now.
Yep.
And you got this concussed this easily. Your career is over. You are now, as a team, searching for a quarterback in the draft. You're now, Perk, you got some new homework now as a beat writer. Now you get to write about the quarterback next year, because they're going to be drafting one. Because that's what the worst part about it is that after everything, Tua thinks he's a football player. He doesn't realize that he's like Marino and Montana and what's it called? Manning and Brady. And bro, you're just a quarterback. You're just a passer, bro. You're not a runner. You're not there to put shoulders into people. When did you see Marino put shoulders into people? Ever. When did Drew Brees put a shoulder into somebody? So after all these injuries, all these concussions, bro, you don't know how to slide? Like,
yeah. He had the first down, right?
Yeah.
It was 4th and 4. He had the first down, or 4th and 3, 4th and 4, whatever it was. Yeah, he had the first down. He should have slid. I think that was where the leadership part of Tua got the best of him. That's where the heart got ahead of the head, because the head should have said, Tua, just get down. You got the first down, get down. But as you said, the heart said, you're a football player, lead this team. They need a spark. You've already thrown 3 interceptions, including a pick 6. You gotta get this thing back. And that's what we saw out there. You know what, Big O, and I understand your, everybody's emotion, and still, let's sit back and take this slow. I know it's easy to say he can't play anymore. He has to go on IR, blah, 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 blah. Let's wait.
You know what story I told? And you lived it. I think you were on the beat at that time. Were you on the beat for Ted Ginn?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So I was one of the morons. I don't know if you were one of them, but Ted Ginn, he's running out of bounds. He's avoiding contact. Well, guess who was the smart guy?
Yeah.
Guess who ended up playing like a 12-year career? Because if he listens to this idiot and says, oh, come on, Ted, get the extra 2 or 3 yards. Take on the hit. Because Marvin Harrison never took a hit. He slid. He sat down. He ran. He literally sat down. I want people to go look at those highlights. He literally sat down sometimes in the middle of the field. When he saw a hit, boom, he just come down. He wouldn't take a hit, and he had a Hall of Fame career. Why? Because he knew he wasn't a football player. He wasn't going to start hitting people and all that. Marvin Harrison was going to play a long time. Ted Ginn was smart. He was going to play a long time. Tua Tagovailoa, man, he's a smart guy. But when he gets on the football field, he makes these dumb decisions. Sad.
Yeah, I wouldn't have extended him because of this, mainly because you didn't know whether he could stay healthy. He did it last year, but that was an anomaly. And I would have had him play this season. That wasn't a very popular opinion. That's not what turned out to happen. But let's not re-legislate that. That's in the past. Moving forward, I don't know what's going to happen. It's not a bright outlook from where we sit right now. You would have to think that it's going to be on the grim side as far as, you've got to search for a new quarterback next season. But again, let's take this one day at a time. I know that doesn't sell on podcasts. It doesn't sell in your business. It doesn't sell in my business. But
it's logical. It's just there's no logic behind it, man. Unfortunately, there's no logic behind it at this point. You can try to sell the company line, but
let me ask you this, Big O. If you were Chris Greer, Steve Ross, or Mike McDaniel, would you put Tua back onto the field this year if he got medical clearance?
No,
I would. I would. I mean, this is football, and this is it's a rough and tumble league. It's the NFL. If he gets medical clearance and he wants to play, I'm putting him back out there because that's my best chance to win. And then we take up next year. But I'm still trying to win this year with this team that I put together, with this plan that I've constructed, with these contract extensions that I've awarded, whether they're justified or not. You've got to do your best to clean up this situation. I shouldn't call it a mess. It's a mess tonight on September 13th. I guess this morning, really. Let's wait and see what happens here. Let's not be fatalistic right now. Let's wait and see what happens. Again, it does look like it's going to be on the grim side, but let's wait and see.
Okay, so the only thing I now that I'm thinking about it, you're right. You do have to bring him back.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking different than you are. I'm a cynical son of a bitch. I've been at it for a long time.
Hey,
if he gets cleared by a doctor,
right,
and his hard-headed ass,
right,
well, his soft-headed, knuckle-headed ass wants to come back, then you have to let him come back.
Yep.
And you got to let him get concussed again, because you need him to retire in order for you to get cleared out of that contract and not pay as much in the guarantees. Because as long as he has to try to play, then you've got to pay. But if he wants to play himself into concussion zone, Well, then go ahead. Then he comes back, and then on the next one, then he'll be forced to retire, and then that's how you'll be able to get out of some of the responsibility of that contract. So, in an evil way, I think you actually have to follow your advice.
It's a business. And I hate to be so cold and right. It's a business, Big O. I hate to be cold and calculating. Look at Cleveland. They're trying to get out of that Deshaun Watson deal. And if it comes through a lawsuit or, then we're out. It's a cold league. But that's kind of the way you have to let it play out. Plus, let's face it, from where you sit right now, Tua is your best chance to win. He's your best chance to get to the playoffs. I want to see what kind of growth Skylar Thompson has had. This is the exact situation that Mike McDaniel said he put Skylar and Mike White through in training camp, the stressful, traumatic situation. Let's see how Skylar responds.
That believes that, right? You're not even saying that with a straight face, right? There's no part of you that believes anything that Skylar Thompson is capable of doing anything.
Listen, Big O, listen. What Skylar has to do, all he has to do, Big O, is get the ball to Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, right? That's pretty much what Tua did. Tua's better at it, but that's pretty much what he has to do is get the ball into the hands of the playmakers and let them do the heavy lifting. Get it to Achane, get it to Tyreek, get it to Waddle. Now, look, he's a backup quarterback. Here's what I've always said about the backup quarterbacks, Big O. What I want from them is to get me to 500 over a 4-week stretch. Any longer than that, you're going to be exposed. And I'm not looking at Skylar Thompson to win me these games. I'm looking at Tyreek to do more than his 111th, Jalen Waddle to do more than his 111th, Jalen Ramsey to do more than his 111th, Anthony Weaver, Mike McDaniel. Everybody's got to pitch in and do more because Skylar is not as good as Tua. You've got to do more. This is not on Skylar. It's on Skylar not to lose the game. It's on everybody else to win the game. And that's what I think is the case for pretty much every backup quarterback in the NFL. I mean, maybe Tyrod Taylor or somebody could get you do something a little unexpected, but most of these guys have not been starters. They don't have experience. Everybody else has to get you over the hump. They can't lose the game for you. Others have to win the game for you.
I have to ask you this question because Furones is coming up next. And Furones, I love you. I know you're watching, but you're a little young for me to ask this question. You got to have a little perspective. You got to have a little age. Okay?
Yep.
Mike McDaniel, he looks different, but he's kind of the same dude. I've seen this guy before, except this guy that I used to know, he used to leave a pair of tickets for Elvis every time. But he had an exciting offense. He was a colorful character. People liked him. When push came to shove, his teams got shoved.
Yep.
And to me, Mike McDaniel is the new version of Jerry Glanville.
Yeah, first NFL game that I covered, Jerry Glanville and Tom Landry were the coaches. 1988. Look, Big O, that's been my big contention with this team is that last season 1-6 against playoff teams, the 2 years under McDaniel 3-12 against playoff teams, and last year while going 1-6 against the playoff teams, the average score of those games was 32-16. I don't know what's more outrageous, allowing 32 or only scoring 16. I think it's only scoring 16 because you're an offensive team. That's your identity. And this has been a big criticism of mine about Mike McDaniel and about this offense is that it's good against the non-playoff teams, but the playoff teams figure out a way. The playoff teams know if we can really focus on shutting down Tyreek Hill, this offense can't score. It can't score. Jalen Waddle can't beat you. And Durham Smythe can't beat you. Raheem Mostert and Devon Achane can't beat you. They can put up 100-yard games and they can score 2 touchdowns, but they're not going to add up to 4 touchdowns, 28 points, 31 points, and beat you. And that's been my big thing with this offense. It doesn't come through against the big boys, and that's what we saw again tonight.
Yeah, and by the way, because I told a lot of people confused, if you lose this game, and you play a good game, you still have the whole season. I said, no, you got to win this game because you look at the last 3 years, it's really a 7-game season. And what I mean by that is you only play 7 playoff teams.
Yep.
You went 1-6 last year. You went 2-5 the year before that, and 2-5 the year before that.
Yep.
So that's all you need to know is what do you do in those 7 games against playoff teams? Oh, that's what you do. Well, that's what you're going to do in the playoffs, right there. Right. If you get there, we now know you're 1-6 or 2-5, 2-5, and now you're 0-1 already. So you're well on your way. So that's kind of the knock out of this. I'll ask Furones, and I'll ask you, and we'll wrap it up with this. I know when Eric Spoelstra's got his back against the wall and somebody's injured and somebody's out or whatever, he still can outcoach somebody. He can still overcome adversity. I've never seen that with Mike McDaniel. What tells you that he is a good enough coach to coach out of adversity?
Nothing. And this is what I have to see from Mike McDaniel. As a matter of fact, you can ask Furones this. I sent Furones and Dave Hyde a text during the game, and I said, you know what? It's coming up very soon to the day where I have to write the column, is Mike McDaniel being outcoached in these games? Because you've got the talent. There's no excuse for you to get pummeled like this. I mean, if you're losing close games, okay, but you're getting pummeled. And here's the other thing, Big O, is that they've got to have another way to win games, right? So I've always said, watching the NBA, for instance, how quickly can you get to your B game? If you're a 3-point shooting team and they cut that off, well, can you go to a drive and kick game? Can you go to an inside game? Can you score some other way? Can you let your defense fire up your offense and get a transition offense going to fire you up? The Dolphins only have one way of winning, and that's the big play. We saw that last week, right? We saw Devon Achane with the 39-yard reception. We saw Jalen Waddle, 63, Tyreek, 80. Those were the big plays, but you have to have something else. Can this team win on defense? Can this team win with a run game? Special teams turned in a great performance last week, but that's not going to – well, I say that's not going to win you a game. It did win you the Dallas game, right? You had 1 touchdown and 5 Jason Sanders field goals. You've got to be able to win a game some other way, and I don't see that often enough with the Dolphins. That gets to both coaching and design of the team. This is a Mike McDaniel problem. It's why I get pissed off at people who rip Liam Eichenberg, because Liam gives a damn. Liam is doing his best. It's not his fault. He's a converted tackle. They don't value interior offensive line, and so you're in the position that you're in, and Liam becomes the scapegoat. This is a Mike McDaniel problem. This is a Chris Grier problem. This is their design. And so when we're looking at this team right now, Big O, now look, when you're without your quarterback and possibly without your star left tackle, that's serious. Those are serious hurdles to overcome. Right. But how else can you win? Can you do something with Jalen Ramsey and Jalen Phillips and Zach Sealer and Jordan Poyer? Can you drum something up? Like, you have all this talent. Put it to work. Like, get it to win some games for you. Get it to keep you close and let Jason Sanders be the closer. Something, Big O. We've got to see something aside from this big play offense winning games for the Dolphins.
My pain. Ready?
Yep.
5-bet parlay.
Oh, no.
James Cook, anytime touchdown.
Yep.
Did I get it?
Got it. In big way. In a big way.
Ray Davis, over 7.5 yards rushing. Did I get it?
Yeah.
Okay. Tua Tagovailoa, over 4.5 yards rushing.
Yep.
Did you get it?
Got that.
James Cook, over 60.5 yards rushing. Damn. Did I get that?
Almost got that on one run.
Right, almost on one run, but I did get it, right?
You got it. Oh, yeah, you got that.
The only thing I needed was an anytime touchdown from Jonnu Smith.
Oh, no.
That's 5,000, bro. It was plus 5,000.
Oh, Man, you know what, man? I'm waiting for that tight end touchdown too. I am waiting, Big O. I am waiting for that. I thought I thought that
Hill. He overthrew Hill.
Yeah. Yep.
Julian was open, dude.
He did. He did. Yep.
And Tua was not sharp either before the injury. He actually had some bad throws too.
Correct. Wow, Big O. Wow. That's a heartbreaker right there.
You know how much Bitcoin I was getting ready to buy tonight?
Yeah. I bet you were. Oh, man.
All right, what are you working on the Sentinel so folks can check you out, my man?
Well, you know what? I'm writing a column tomorrow. I haven't really decided what I'm going to write yet. I've got to get with Dave Hyde. It might be big picture and looking at this team until the bye. It might be looking at the plan of the 30-somethings. It might be something Tua related. It might be looking at how they can win games. But, listen.
The last one, bro, don't even bother with that one, bro.
They got to come up with something, Big O. They got to come up with something. So it's I'll write something. I'll sleep on it. Boy, I will say this, Big O. You know, in the locker room, all the players were saying that Tua was in good spirits, that he talked to a lot of the players. They talked to him, and he seemed to be in good spirits. That means nothing as far as, head trauma and not going on IR or anything like that. But I know that's the fencing posture. That was the scare. We all saw that right away. I know. We all saw that right away. So I would think this is a multi-week injury just to be on the safe side, right? Just to even for appearances, but who knows? It's the NFL. Who knows? He could be back in 2 weeks, but I know.
Thank God I'm going to 2 concerts in Seattle next week.
Oh, no joke. Nice, man. All right, text me, man. Maybe we can hang out. I'll be there. But
I'll definitely text you guys. But yes,
do that, man.
I pull in on Thursday. I'm actually flying out Thursday. So.
Oh, nice. Well, Dolphins fans, I don't know what to tell you, man. This is a kick in the stomach. I know it, but small bites of this sandwich, small bites of this, 16 more weeks left in this sandwich. Take small bites. You don't have to bite off 7 weeks tonight. Let's see what happens with Tua day by day. It's probably going to be a multi-week absence. But again, if Skyler can get you to 2-2 over a 4-game stretch, after that, every backup, I know, Big O, every backup gets exposed after that. But again, everybody's got to do their – Skyler just can't lose the game for you. He's not going to win it. Everybody else has to win it for you.
Where are you doing your stand-up comedy? Where are you
I'm going to go do it in North Bay Village at my condo. I'm going to go practice. Then I'll bring it back to Miami Gardens.
Follow him on Twitter at Chris Perk. Chris, as always, you're a stud, my brother. Thank you. We'll catch up next week.
All good, Big O.
All right. There you go. Chris Perkins, EJD Construction. Call my guy, Eric, 305-433-4843. Fully insured, liability and workers' comp. So that way, when you hire somebody, you want to make sure they're fully insured. That way, if anybody gets hurt on your property, you're not going to get sued. They use Shell Construction in-house. That's how they keep their costs down. So call them. Free consultation, 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.